Hi, my name is Vincent, and today I want to show you all how to solve and check radical equations. We've got 4 examples here, and for the first one, it's going to be the simplest of the bunch. So first thing we want to do with all these questions is get the square root term alone. So we're going to subtract 1 on both sides. And what we have left is square root x is equal to 3. Now the concept that we're using here, or the algebra, is to get rid of a square root, we do the opposite operation, which would be to square both sides. So we're going to go ahead and raise both sides to the second power. Now on the left side, the square root of x times the square root of x is just x, and 3 to the second power is 9. So this is our solution, but just to be sure, we're going to check. This step is very, very important with these questions because sometimes you'll get an answer that doesn't work and you have to reject it. So we have 1 plus square root of x, and x equals 9, and that should equal 4. And we got 1 plus the square root of 9 is 3, equal to 4. 4 is equal to 4, so it works out. Now for the next example here, I know we said that we should get square root terms by itself, but in certain cases you can't get the square root term by itself. So what you want to do is start off by squaring both sides of the equation and see what happens. Now with these questions, it may not, like your first move may not always work, but the worst that happens is it doesn't lead you to a solution and you go back to the beginning. But here, let's see what happens when we square both sides. On the left side, we just get x plus 5. And over time, you'll be able to do this stuff in your head. If you could already do it in your head, then cool. But what we need to be able to do is take the expression 1 plus square root of x and multiply it by itself. Do not just say 1 plus x. That's a very common mistake. We have 1 times 1 is 1. But then we have 1 times square root of x is square root of x. And then on the inside, we have square root of x times 1 is square root of x. And then when we distribute square root of x to the square root of x, multiplying those gives you x. So this actually simplifies to 1 plus 2 times square root of x, because when we add square root x plus square root x, there's 2 of them. And then the x trails at the end. All right, so that's the result of squaring the right side. But like I said before, the most common mistake I see with these kind of questions is that students just square the first and last term. You have to remember that you're multiplying multiple things together. So then here, to simplify this, we'll go ahead and subtract 1 on both sides, and we'll subtract x on both sides. So then in this case here, the left side, whoops, let's not cross out everything. X minus x cancels, giving us 0. 5 minus 1 is equal to 4. 1 minus 1 cancels. We have 2 square root of x, and then x minus x cancels. So then for this part, we're going to divide both sides by 2. And we've got 2 equals the square root of x. So then at this step, what we could do is square both sides. So we're going to square the right side and we're going to square the left side. And then that's going to give us x equals 4 as our solution. Now what we should do though is absolutely check to see that this does work out. So we've got square root of x plus 5 was the original, so we're going to say 4 plus 5 is equal to 1 plus the square root of 4. So now we've got square root of 9, which is 3, is equal to 1 plus 2, and 3 is equal to 3, so this checks out. Now for the next problem, what we want to do is, for this I would want to group x and 3 together, and I want to move this radical term to the other side by itself. So I would start this by subtracting 3 on both sides and adding square root of 5 minus x to both sides. So we're going to move the 3 to the left, and we're going to move this minus square root 5 minus x to the right. So these terms will cancel here, and then the radical terms cancel on the left. And all we have left on the left side is x minus 3, and on the right side we have square root of 5 minus x. Now the reason why we do this is because it's getting the square root term by itself. So then we're able to go ahead and do the algebra. We're going to square both sides. Remember, the major concept throughout this whole video is that anytime you have a square root term by itself, if you square both sides, the square root goes away. So then here, same idea, like if you could do this in your head, then awesome. Otherwise, just write it out. There's no shame in it. We have x minus 3 squared, which is x minus 3 times x minus 3. Be careful not to just say x squared and then plus 9 at the end when you do minus 3 times minus 3. Very common mistake is to forget the other terms, but we got x squared. We have minus 3x when we distribute the x to the negative 3, and then negative 3 times x is negative 3x. Negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9. So there should be an extra minus 6x in the middle. So once again, don't forget that middle piece. And now the right side is just 5 minus x. Now that we have this done, we'll get this out of the way. Don't need this anymore. And what we need to do to solve this quadratic is move everything to one side. So we're going to subtract 5 on both sides, and we're going to add x to both sides. And now we have the equation x squared minus 5x plus 4 is equal to 0. So once again, this is the part or what's going on in your head. You need two numbers that add up to negative 5 and have a product of 4. And the two numbers are negative 4 and negative 1. They have a sum of negative 5 and a product of positive 4. So that tells us we could factor this to x minus 4 times x minus 1 is equal to 0. And then here the roots are x equals 4 and x equals 1. But here's the thing. If you stop here and just assume that you're good, this is where you'll be in a lot of danger with these questions. You have to absolutely check these because watch, when you plug in x equals 4, let's check this, we'll use red. We're plugging into the original. We have 4 minus square root of 5 minus 4 is 1 is equal to 3, and you get 4 minus 1 is equal to 3. 3 equals 3, so the first one checks out. So this is definitely an answer. However, when you plug in the second one, so let's see what happens here. We get 1 minus the square root of 5 minus 1 is 4 is equal to 3. So this gives us 1 minus 2 is equal to 3. But negative 1 equals 3 is a false statement. So that tells us we have to reject this solution. So our only answer to the question here, our answer or our solution is just x equals 4. Okay, for this last question here, this one's a bit complicated, but we're going to start off by getting the square root term alone. So when we subtract x on both sides, we've got square root x minus 1 equals 5 minus x. And we're going to square both sides of this equation. So on the left, we have x minus 1 equals, and when we multiply this part out, we're going to have 25. We'll have a minus 5x, which is going to result in a minus 10x. And then we've got plus x squared. So then here to continue, we're going to combine like terms. So we're going to move the x term from the left over, and we're going to move the minus 1 over. So the left side cancels completely, and we've got 0 equals, and I'll write this in standard form. We've got x squared as the leading term. Negative 10x minus x is minus 11x. And then we have plus 26. So what we have here is a quadratic equation. This is not going to factor nicely, so we're going to use the quadratic formula. We have a coefficient in front of x squared of 1. That's our a term. Our b term, or coefficient of x, is negative 11. And then c is equal to 26. So we'll go ahead and use the quadratic formula. And we've got x equals negative b, but b is negative 11, so negative 11 becomes positive 11. And then we've got plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times, and we'll extend this, we have a times c. And then this is all over 2 times a. So then to work this out, we've got x equals 11 plus or minus, and this is going to give us 121 minus 104. And 121 minus 104 is 17. And this is all over 2. So then we've got x equals 11 plus square root of 17 over 2. So this is our first potential solution. And we've got x equals 11 minus square root of 17 over 2. But remember, before we say that we're good here, we should check. And I'm going to go ahead and do that with the calculator because these numbers aren't so nice. So show you a little trick. If you write alpha y equals enter, you could input fractions into the TI calculators, at least the newer ones. And we've got 11 plus square root of 17 over 2. If you hit if you hit enter, and now you could store this as anything you want. Let's say this is like, solution A, hit alpha math. Now every time we write the letter A, it's going to write this number 11 plus square root of 17 over 2. So now if we do that again, but for the other one, this is 11 minus square root of 17 divided by 2. We hit enter, and now we're going to hit the store button, and we'll store this as the letter B. We'll see which of these actually check out to the original. So if we try out A, we have x plus square root x minus 1. Let's see if the first solution works. So when we test out the first solution, you see how it works out to 10.123, which doesn't match the 5 here. So this solution is out. And now let's hope the second one works. So if we do solution B, we have B plus the square root of B minus 1. And let's hope that works out to 5. And it does. So the only valid solution here is the second solution here. Now, one thing to really convince you why that's the case, like why our first solution, which was like a little bit more than 7.5, I think it was 7.56, why that one was no good. If we were to type in the function x plus square root x minus 1, and let's say we set it equal to 5, because that's the right side, we should see that these two graphs are only going to intersect once when x is in the 3-point something range. So let's see here, moment of truth. You see how this is a strictly increasing function, and it's a strictly increasing function. The only intersection here happens at x equals 11 minus square root of 17 over 2. That second solution at 7 and change was a false solution because the function on the left here just continues to go up while this one here just stays constant. Okay, well, this is going to conclude this video on solving and checking radical equations. If you found it helpful, please click like and subscribe below. And if you have any requests, please leave it in the comments section below. Thank you for watching.